So what's up? How's everybody doing?
You guys want some water? You guys want some water?
Yeah. God. Harry, get on it.
I'm doing it.
Oh boy.
Wow, it is. It's on there. Can you see that? How's everybody doing?
Oh. Push it farther back. There you go.
You guys want some water? Yeah. God.
All right, yeah, shut up, Aaron. Oh. We can't hear it?
Wow, this is cool. It says live chat replay. You can enable chat replay for watching later. And all the messages in the chat are saved. It's kind of cool.
Let's do it on three. 1, 2, 3. One half a step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. On this team, we fight for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know that's the difference between winning and losing.
Mean in the Green. It's right here for you.
That's football, guys.
Go Mean Green.
Welcome to the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast, dedicated to students, alumni, and fans that truly bleed green.
Don't give them room to breathe.
Follow us on Twitter at GoMeanGreen and visit our website, GoMeanGreen.com.
Love that.
Gotta love it, baby.
Here we go.
Now, your hosts of the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast, Evan, Harry, and Ashton.
So where to hit it? Let's go.
Hello, and it didn't work. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just repeated everything you just said.
All right. Now I can hear it. All right. This is a little weird. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the 194th edition of the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast. This is Evan.
This is Harry.
This is Ashton.
This is JD.
JD came up a little
Still got to
late.
work on that landing a little bit, but
So, guys, we are at a unusual time in our Mean Green history here, where we are starting out where we could go 2-0. I'm not knock on wood. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but we are coming off an amazing victory against SMU at home. I don't think none of us, based off of what we thought we would do last week, thought it was going to be this good.
You couldn't script it any better, Evan. It was just the best opener, the best outcome against, crosstown rival SMU. The score makes it look closer than it was. It was just a dominant performance by North Texas, and you got to tip your hat to Seth Luttrell and what he's been able to accomplish, because there just weren't a lot of issues. I mean, that was about as picture perfect opening game as you could ever ask for as a North Texas fan.
yeah, it was a huge win. I mean, I don't know about the comment about we all didn't see it coming. I mean, I don't think none of us thought we were going to lose. I mean, we all picked, right? I mean, we were all pretty confident we were going to, I mean, not overly confident, I guess, but like we were all pretty optimistic about potentially getting a win. right? No,
yeah, I mean, I had the pregame, first game jitters, nerves, whatever you want to call it, but I think I knew thought the offense was going to come out and play the way they did. The defense was definitely the surprise for me. I mean, I think my prediction was 38-28. I mean, I never would have guessed that we'd have shut them out for the first three quarters. I mean, defense was definitely.
Let's talk about that defense, because that whole one first down, we kept looking up at that number. They got one first down. Now they got two first down. I mean, that number, we were just pulling for it to stay really low. And it was amazing. We were so caught up in how good the offense was playing, and the defense was just there. And the guy, Hicks his passes were off. The coverage was good. They were getting to him. I mean, it was just an amazing time to see that defense. And we hadn't seen the defense play that strong against opponent we thought that we would struggle with in a long time.
You kind of broke up there on my end at the end.
I did?
Yeah. I don't know if everybody else heard it, but
you kind of broke up.
All right, sorry. Well, I was just saying that we expect the defense to play decent against some of your lower level teams, but coming against SMU right out of the gates, a team that they had trouble with last year, to do that well, I mean, it was just blew my mind.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that the defense had a lot of doubters going into the game. I was anxious. I really wanted to see what they were doing. I liked what I'd seen at practice on the defense. I think that there's more of a comfort level with a lot of the players in the defense now recently. So that was I was excited to see that. And it's one of those games where you take a look at it and you sit there and say, okay. I mean, everybody probably does this. Was SMU really that bad on offense, or were we that good on defense? And I kind of lean towards we played that well on defense, because last time I checked, Sonny Dykes is a really good offensive coach, and the fact that that was Hicks' worst game, as a starter, I thought that that was that was pretty telling. I mean, we were in his kitchen the whole night. I mean, he had no time. They couldn't get anything going. We were rattled him. He was throwing the ball over players, throwing it out of bounds, throwing it at people's feet, getting sacked. We got tons of pressure. The defense went out there and did what everybody was hoping they would do, and I think what everybody kind of doubted them into even doing, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking at this stat, Ashton. SMU had 46 total yards and minus 9 rushing yards through three quarters. I mean, I thought our defense might be improved, but I didn't think we were going to be that good, especially against the run. They really struggled to run the ball against us, and they were trying to run the ball, it seemed like, all night.
At one point, they had negative 26 rushing yards.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's the sacks and everything like that. But that's just, I mean, again, we haven't had a quality defense, a really good defense, really since 2013. I mean, let's face it. One that we could really depend on and rely on to kind of handle games. And since Latrell got here, it's definitely been more of an offensive team. There's no question about that. So to watch that game against not Lamar and not Incarnate Word and somebody that, is supposed to be at least somewhat decent and plays in a group of five, that was really, really, eye-catching and really, it left me very optimistic in thinking what this defense can do, because, really there were some really bad plays by the twos to make that game kind of close, but they were just really stupid missed assignments and really mental mistakes. And if those mistakes don't happen, we're talking about a 46-7 game. And I mean, that would have even looked worse than it really was. I guess in a sense, it would have been the opposite of what we're talking about now. So I think that the defense just pitched a really great game, and the offense had a couple of issues. Turn your radio down, but offense had a couple of issues. With protecting Mason and getting a run game going, but man, watching them spread the ball out like that and just pitch and catch was just a sight to see.
Yeah, we had a couple of breaks early on. I noticed that targeting call, I hate to say that was a break, but that kept it going and kind of let us get to that first score. Regardless of what you thought of the call.
And say that targeting call was when SMU jumped the shark. I mean, that pretty much after that is, you think about it, they had us pinned back a little, you know what I mean? They had us in a good spot, and it just seems like after that, they just couldn't get anything going. That was a huge call, and I think it was the right call.
I was worried.
They didn't have us pinned back, did they? I mean, we were on their side of the field, weren't we?
No.
No, we were on our side of the field.
Yeah.
They were on our side of the field? Okay.
I mean, it wasn't down in the end zone. It was like the 30 or the 40 or something. But I tell you what.
It was like 3rd and 25, right? I mean, it was a big play. So.
Yeah, Rob McKinney in the chat room also mentioned one of the other big breaks that we had. And I don't want to get too much to all these lucky breaks because the team played great. But Mason threw a pass that I don't know where it was going to, but it went right to an SMU guy, and he was not prepared and dropped it. And that kind of how their night goes.
Yeah, that just floated on him, I think. I mean, I'm not even going to remotely, think about that being an interception because, I mean, it's like picking apart a really great game and saying, oh, Mason didn't look that good because he had that bad throw. I'm not saying that's what we're doing, but, it sailed on because I actually asked him about it in the sidelines. I was like, what the hell were you doing? And he's like, man, that just got away from me. And I just, it just kind of sailed on me. And unfortunately, it sailed over our guy right into an SMU defender's crotch. And the guy just, I mean, I don't think he was ready for it. Like, he was looking to catch that ball. He just dropped him. That kind of summed up SMU's day, but we've been there 100 times and literally probably 100 times. And I don't want to, screw them. I'm glad we won. I'm glad we beat the hell out of them. So screw them.
Well, what about the total time of possession? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I was watching that stat during the game, 15 minutes to 44 minutes. I just couldn't believe where we're at. Now, we can get into specific players. We can get in specific plays. But when you look at the overall stats and you look at this, and what's funny is when you saw tweets or news reports of this game, it talked about how this game was nowhere near as close as the score shows. Because the score doesn't look like it was a blowout, but it really was. I mean, those last scores they had came in the very last few minutes of the game. I just felt like it was just an overall dominating performance, and the crowd was amazing. So, and one thing I know that I posted on Twitter, and I want to pull it up real quick because I know that I know a lot of people saw it on here. So let me go ahead and load this up, and you guys, I'm going to show you what it looks like real quick here. Sorry, it's running a little slow. It's this one here. Ready?
Uh-oh.